Call the Pentucket Regional School Committee meeting to order, May 20th. Roll call vote. Wayne Adams.
Here.
Joanne Blanchett.
Here.
Jill Ikos.
Here.
Doug absent. Lisa.
Here.
Brian Page. Here. Chris Redding.
Here.
Chris Wiles. Here. Jack Willett. Here.
4.9.
Chris, would you please, Chris, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
Took it away from us. It has been over there.
It's usually over there, the flagpole's there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Majority vote is?
4.0.
4.0 is majority vote. Agenda.
I'd like to add an agenda item for tonight, intra-district school choice. And I'd also like to suggest that we go into executive session prior to the meeting and then come back and reconvene after that.
Where are they going to go in the agenda?
I would say before the minutes. If we could go into executive session before the minutes. And it's, you know, your pleasure wherever we go for the intra-district. It'll be last.
Make it number 10?
Make it number 10.
Executive session first?
I would.
Okay. Chris, would you read the?
Make a motion.
Do we want to approve the agenda first?
Sorry.
As amended.
As amended?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? None? All those in favor? Thank you. Okay.
Make a motion to go into executive session. Purpose is to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares.
Do I have a
Second.
Second.
Brian? Yes. Okay, Wayne.
Yes.
Joanna? Chris?
Yes.
Brian? Yes. Jack, yes.
Point of order. Is it relative to teachers' contracts?
Yes.
Okay, I vote yes and I recuse myself.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We'll be back in a short while, hopefully. We're now back in session. I'm sorry for the delay. The next order of business is...
Approve the minutes?
No,
Reorganization?
we're going to do what you're...
No?
No, it's
That's at the end.
Minutes.
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 Minutes,
Minutes,
okay.
Motion to approve.
Business minutes of April 15th.
Motion to approve the April 15th business meeting.
Second.
Discussion, yes.
Under the school choice vote, I would just like it to be a little more specific. It's we voted to give 7 slots to supplement the budget at the high school for the innovation schools. Just to make sure that that's where the money gets allocated. It comes out of the operating budget. Just that was the clarity of it.
Yep.
And then we also haven't added any new slots.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Oh, I wasn't there. I'm abstaining, sorry.
Okay. The business meeting, April 29th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? I was not here, so I will not vote. Business finance operation, May 6th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Teaching, learning, and accountability, May 6th.
All right, motion to approve.
Second.
You're slowing down over there.
Yeah, you're taking a drink of water. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Policy, May 6th.
We'll make it a home run. Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Yes,
No,
Chris.
I'm voting. Already had it.
Okay.
Let's just go.
All those in favor? Okay. Now, if I'm right, we're going to reorganize. But first, I'd like to say something. This year, as the chair, as your man up here banging the gavel, which I only never banged once, okay, except to start the meeting. It's been a very, very good year. I feel as if the school committee is running on 9 cylinders, that the communities understand what we're trying to do. They're trying to help us. And Jeff, certainly, I thank you for the leadership. It's probably, that's why the boat's going so straight. And we've done a lot of good things. We're going to have some good sports facilities here for the kids. We've downsized, I believe, our classes on our elementaries, so they're manageable. People are looking, people like us, they're moving into the community. And we have a lot of good things on the table looking forward to coming to attrition. So thank you very, very much. With that, I will now tend nominations for chairman. It goes to West Newbury. I'll recognize Jill Eichel.
I'd like to recognize and nominate Chris Weil. Seeing him on the committee the last few years, I cannot think of a better person to become chairman than Chris. His high ethical, I want to keep going, his high ethical standards that he has. And I think I want to say this about Chris. You can disagree with him, but he's not disagreeable. You know, and I think that's a really important piece of a leader.
You just don't want to be chair, right, Jill?
I'll be honest with you. I think that we're moving in a good direction, and I really hope that everyone supports my nomination of Chris.
Do you have a second or any other nomination?
Before I say, I will second it, but Chris, do you want it?
I will do it.
Okay.
Well, I want it's another question.
And I'll second the motion.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Congratulations, Chris.
It's yours.
Oh, thanks. You don't have to move this.
Oh, yeah.
Just move the gavel.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's for today. There you go, Jack.
Next order of business, I guess, would be to take a nomination for the vice chair, and that comes out of Merrimack this year. Any nominations?
I believe you and Joanna work real well communication-wise, so I definitely would like to nominate Joanna Blanchard as the vice chair.
Second. Does she accept it?
Well, that's the next question.
What? Oh, yeah. No, Alex. I'm looking at the description.
There's not much to do. If I die, you get to take over.
Just make sure you make it to the meetings.
I haven't missed one yet.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor? And then the third one is
Secretary.
the secretary, and that will be Groveland this year. The secretary is just basically the keeper of the correspondence.
Lisa, it's a real easy position. I nominate Lisa O'Connor.
Second.
Did you take it?
Yeah.
I did it last year.
You did?
I did.
He was very successful.
Actually, this year I take that back.
Okay. This year. Well, it is last
Any
year.
further discussion? All in favor of Lisa? Thank you. What was one of the positions?
Treasurer.
And you want to explain that? I don't think
sure.
we've ever done that.
We have.
Yeah, we have.
For the
So
school committee?
this is a little bit of an odd position in the sense that if something goes wrong with our treasurer for the district, this person could actually step in. And I don't anticipate that happening. But it is one of those positions that we all should be filling. So we'd be looking for nominations.
Does it matter what town it's from, or is there any rotation?
I just heard a comment over here, so I'm going to nominate her. I'm going to nominate Chris Redding.
I was thinking the financial background, if you would be interested.
Was a CPA.
I'll make a second.
You said second.
Yeah. Would you do it? Any further discussion? All in favor of Chris Redding as treasurer?
Great.
Thank you.
So you're officially reorganized, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
You just want to do the
treasurer's position in the office.
Oh, yes, we
Right.
still have that. We have to renew the treasurer's position each year.
Yes. Our current treasurer, who's completing almost her first year, is Brandy Peruzzi. She works an average of 15 hours a week. She does Tuesday and Thursday every week and every other Wednesday. We pay her $25.63 an hour for the 780 hours. That's a total $19,991. It's a non-benefit eligible position. She enjoys it here. She's doing a great job and gets along well with all the staff, and I'd hope to reauthorize her to go another year.
Motion to reappoint Brandy as our district treasurer.
Second.
Great. Any discussion? All in favor? On to the superintendent's report.
Okay, this is a short report, I think. Tonight, we have a really exciting opportunity to approve our innovation schools. And I think you all have had an opportunity to talk through with the individuals who are responsible for development of the innovation schools. My recommendation is for you to approve 3-year terms for them. It could be from 1 to 5 years, but 3 years gets people off the ground, and I think that would be a really healthy way of starting out. And I don't know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer questions at this point, but I think they've done a great job. It's really generated a lot of enthusiasm from staff, from administration, from parents, and I think it's going to be terrific for the students in our district. So that's it.
I would have one quick question, and it's relative to making the motion. Do we have to do each school individually, or can we do all 6 at once?
You need to do each school individually because they're authorized individually, so we want it in the minutes that way.
Okay. Can we start then?
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the Design and Engineering Academy at the John C. Page School for a duration of 3...
Point of order. Chairs don't normally make motions.
Well, you have to mediate the conversation.
He's not used to it yet.
I know.
Well, planning board you can, so do I have a motion?
There we go, Chris.
I will make a motion to approve the Design and Engineering Academy at the Dr. John C. Page Elementary School
For 3
Second.
years.
3 years?
for 3 years.
3 years. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I will make a motion to approve, apply, I'm like, no, I'm not applying to it, to approve the Design and Engineering Academy at the Dr. Elmer S. Bagnall Elementary School for 3 years.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I would like to make a motion to approve the Merrimack School International Baccalaureate Program at the Helen R. Donahue School and Dr. Frederick N. Sweetser School for a period of 3 years.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
No, discussion now. Like you, Jen.
You're ahead of time.
I would like to make a motion to approve the Pentucket Arts Academy at Pentucket Middle School and Pentucket High School for a period of 3 years.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I would like to make a motion to approve the Pentucket Academy of Movement Science and Athletics at the Pentucket Middle School and Pentucket High School for a period of 3 years.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
And I would like to make a motion to approve the Pentucket Safety and Public Service Academy at Pentucket Middle School and Pentucket High School for a period of 3 years.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Very good.
Staffing changes, on to Jeff.
Yes, okay. I provided to you a list of all the different improvements that are going on throughout the district, and it included the various staffing improvements that we have. And what I'd like you to do tonight is to vote to approve all of those staffing changes so that I can move ahead with those officially. So I didn't know if you had any questions about those, but that's what I'm requesting.
Now, I've seen your list. Which specific changes we're not voting the entire list. This is a list of improvements through the district.
It is. So you see the expansion of special education as an example, increases of 1 FTE at Bagnell School for a district-wide program, the implementation of a half-time support for the speech and language program, that sort of thing. So all of the positions are listed here for you, and rather than go through each of them individually, I thought since they're presented, it would be a help if you could approve those.
I make a motion to approve the staffing changes as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Thank you. The next one we have is recognition of Jen Perlich and Joan Reynolds, and they have been the leadership for our Special Education Parents Advisory Council. They've been just a terrific asset to our district. They're unable to be here tonight, so I'd like to just move this to our next business meeting in June where they can attend and we can recognize them more formally. Sound okay?
Sounds good. Pentucket Education Foundation donation.
And here we, yes. You okay?
No.
Get some water. Go get some water.
Okay. So I have to get, I'll do like 4 of them, I'll be good for an hour.
Last time you did that, you had pneumonia in the hospital.
Yeah, right.
I used to all the kids around.
Hello.
Hi.
Tonight,
Hi.
Julie Teresi from PF, she's the head of our grants committee, so I guess we're joining us tonight. So I'm really excited to approve the innovation schools, because what we're about to do is important.
It would have been awkward.
So, just to kind of back it up a little bit, about 3 years ago, the PF, we took a STEM initiative at each of the schools. We started here at the high school with a $50,000 grant. We did the middle school, and last year, we were able to donate $25,000 to each of the elementary schools. So this year, we said, what can we do? We want to start the process over again. So with the innovation schools, we felt that was a great place to start. And through our partnership with the Institution for Savings, who cannot be here tonight, but they're very happy to support Pentucket schools, we said the innovation schools would be a great place. And so with Julie and Jonathan, who's here tonight, we worked really closely to see what we could maybe help here at the high school. So we're very excited tonight to give you a check in the amount of $48,958 to be used for the purchase of 32 iMacs for the Pentucket Arts Academy Innovation School, as well as 10 spin bikes to be used for the movement, science, and athletics schools, innovation schools. And our goal is to hopefully continue this next year through the middle school and then continue
Great.
To the elementary schools as well.
Great.
So,
Thank you very much.
John, you want to add anything?
Yeah.
This was a team effort. Julie did a great job putting the grants together with Tom and support.
Yeah, I was just going to say that particular point, you guys are such a great partner. You're so easy to work with, and you just you really encourage the work that we do and support the work that we do. It's just really a great partnership. So we're so appreciative of the work that we did with $50,000 2 years ago, and then this as well. And we're really excited about what this equipment can do to help kind of really get these innovation schools off the ground. The movement science and athletics piece, we've heard Dan and Kate talk so excitedly about what the possibilities are there. And so these spin bikes, along with a little bit of money that Dan got from another grant, are going to be used to basically take a classroom and make it more into like a fitness classroom. So I'm really excited about that, and that can be more of an integral part of the classroom learning experience where, again, it's not just about instruction, it's about using it and sort of seeing the impact of the exercise and things like that. And then the Mac computers are going to be a huge support to the arts piece. So, we've been working through this character sculpture class this year as sort of our pilot course, and we want to go to the next level, which is digital sculpture, where students then would take their 3D creation, their creature, their subject that they've made, and then they would digitize that. And now you can start to animate that. So this will allow us to do that. And it will as well support a lot of the other programs, really high areas of interest throughout the school, our video program, our graphic design program, our photography program. So it's going to really help us with this particular and to support a lot of the other things. It's so exciting. Can't wait to get them going. So thank you so much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mary Ann says we actually need a vote to accept it.
You do.
So before we do that, Anna Marie, as a committee, I think we want to thank Pentucket Education Foundation and the institution, not just for this year. It's been phenomenal because what they add is the enrichment component that we would otherwise have lost, and I think it's pretty special what you all do. Appreciate it very much.
Just to throughout the year, actually. Thursday, October 2nd, we're hoping that we do a recognition ceremony where we want to invite our partners over the last 3 years who have supported us, as well as the teachers that have received some of the Trailblazer Awards.
Yeah.
As part of that, we're actually doing a whole redesign of the PF website right now to really showcase the equipment and new certificates that we funded. And you're going to see a big launch in September for that with a new website. And then culminating on October 2nd to do this recognition assembly. So everybody here will get an invite for that. We'll put it in their calendar now. That would be great.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I make a motion to accept the grant from the PEF and the Institution for Savings.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Recognition for administration.
Yeah, the Finance Committee discussed this, and I hope everybody had a chance to read Jeff's email he sent out. So I'm going to move to provide $2,000 to Dr. Lay, Mr. Seymour, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Thornton, Mr. Evans, and Ms. Rigadian as a token of gratitude for their contribution to Pentucket Regional School District.
Second.
Any discussion?
I don't think I got that email.
I didn't either. so-
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
So I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
Okay,
so.
Do you want me to discuss it?
Sure.
So, as you know, at the beginning of this year, we had a gap in our leadership. There were two that we had to cover for. One was that we had December retirement coming up at Page, and we had the looming educator evaluation system to put in play. And then we had a leave that occurred at another school, and we had to patch that together as well. So what this is actually doing is recognizing the extra leadership effort that occurred with Jonathan covering, Deb Lay going to a different school, the different vice principals covering, and really going above and beyond in a lot of ways. So the combined effect, it was probably around an $80,000 savings for the district. And they never flinched. They just have done whatever they needed to do, and they pulled it off so well. And I think if we ever were to run into another situation, we would want to be, as a committee, in a place of recognizing people for going above and beyond. It's not a lot of money, but it's a way of just saying thank you.
Again, I didn't get the flash. Could you just read the names again? I mean, because I thought of certain people that I want to make sure are in there.
Dr. Lay, Mr. Seymour, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Thornton, Mr. Evans, Ms. Rigadian.
Reardon. Yeah.
Any further discussion? Any questions? This is a bonus, not a contractual increase?
Correct.
Yeah.
Just making sure it doesn't roll each year.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Okay. Yep.
There's some principals that are left out?
Those are the only principals and assistant principals that were affected.
Okay.
So, for instance, even though Rob Harrison does a great job over at Merrimack, he didn't do anything in the way of covering for others in this way. Yeah.
Got it.
You have the ability to cover this in the budget?
We do.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
You all set?
Yeah, thank you.
All in favor? Anti-bullying policy.
Every 2 years, the anti-bullying plan and policy need to come back to us for approval, for an update. Mike Smith did a great job at convening appropriate constituents to review it. It's gone to the policy committee, and the policy committee is just forwarding it to you. And all the regulations around state language have been updated, and we'd just like to move forward with that.
Anybody make a motion?
Make a motion.
Make a motion to approve the anti-bullying policy.
Second.
I just had one, there's a couple typos in the things that are going home to parents.
That's not good.
Yeah, these haven't gone out yet. I mean, we can talk about this now, but
So if you could just represent those to Mary Ann, we'll take care of those.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Those are in the appendix A and B?
Appendix A and B.
That's not good. All right.
Do you want to pass them?
You just want to make an amendment to your motion, Brian, accepting any corrections and typos in the appendix A and B?
I'll accept that amendment.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Unanimous? Passes.
Yep, very good, it's adopted.
Student staff fundraising policy.
This is another policy that's being recommended to you by the policy committee. This policy would allow us to help manage the process that would be in place that if it involved our students. So we have many organizations that involve our students for fundraising, and we want to have the ability to help them manage the process and the management of their funds so that it doesn't come back to haunt us. So this is what this policy is all about. And again, the policy committee's reviewed it and they're recommending it to you.
Make a motion to accept the student staff fundraising policy as written.
Second.
Any discussion? I'll just make a quick comment that I was on the subcommittee and went through it pretty well, and the one thing we did request to be added was the form. So that people
It
can
should
do
be there,
It's in there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think it's done very well.
And that all goes back to Greg. Greg's the one that developed it for us.
Thank you to Greg.
You're more than welcome.
All in favor? It's unanimous. Middle school, out-of-state field trip.
So we have an out-of-state field trip for you to approve. Each year, well, last year is my first. Each year you get this field trip coming to you because the students who register for it get a break if we do it early. So even though it's not until next year around this time, that's the reason for it coming to you so early. So we've been through it. I've had the middle school, I had a conversation with the middle school. I feel confident in moving it forward.
Want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the middle school field trip to Washington, D.C. and Williamsburg.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Ryan?
I read the email you sent out on the Corey checks and the fingerprinting and all that. Is this going to affect this?
It won't affect the Washington trip.
Okay.
So I had them look at the potential impact of any language that we were considering, and it would be very minimal. About the most change that they would have to make is at Busch Gardens, maybe assign groups an adult to go around with them, but they felt it was very manageable.
Oh, now, what about the transportation company?
Yeah, we'll make all of those checks and make sure it's all legitimate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Relative to that, my wife is a teacher and chaperones that trip, which there's not enough money in the world to get me on those buses with the kids.
Yeah.
But the people who go love
The
going.
people who go love it. The kids behave. It's a strange phenomenon for kids of this age. It's so well planned. They take them so that they drive down. When they get there, they're tired. They go to bed that night. They've got all the details figured out. They have people sitting in the hotel corridors so they don't come out of their rooms at night. I would have questioned a lot of it, except I've been hearing this for probably 5 years on how well planned it is. And they really do have it down like clockwork. And it's a really good field trip. So.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question on the cost of the trip. It says that there's ones that pre-register, but it doesn't have the date. Like, at what point does the pre-registration date stop and the next?
I don't know that level of detail. I'd have to get that for you.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Transfer from E&D to stabilization.
This is the first year, this is the beginning of our first attempt at moving from using the complete E&D in the next year's budget to actually putting it into stabilization. So this is more of a symbol of what we're doing than a substantial amount. So I think it's around $22,000 or so that we're actually moving in, but it's symbolic of what we're hoping to do in the future.
So make a motion.
It has to be a 2/3 vote, and you have to give the actual amount, which is $22,963.
Okay.
So moved.
It has to be a 2/3 vote under the new E&D policy that you just approved at the meeting before.
Well, we'll get there. We need a second
All right,
first.
I'll second.
Any discussion? My question would be, in the future, what would the anticipated number be? You said this is just a token.
Well, in the past, we have captured between $300,000 and $400,000 pretty typically. So without the need to do that, I'm not saying that we would be capturing that large amount, but it would be more substantial in my mind than $20,000. So we'll do the best we can, but it will not be an intent to sort of rob Peter to pay Paul. We'll see how we do.
What's the balance of stabilization? Because I know it's fairly low.
Yeah.
Right now, you had previously authorized some of the spending for the middle school accelerated repair. That accounting change has already occurred, so the fund has been reimbursed once the town's approved it. So currently, it sits at 155, 638, 43, and after this transfer, it would be 178, 601, 43. You're right, it's low.
That's anyway.
But it's growing.
But it's in the right direction, and it's a good symbolic thing going forward when we're going to be doing a big borrowing to basically wrap up all the grounds projects and all the other things that have been hanging out there as separate borrowings and combining them. It shows good faith toward going forward when the ratings call.
Any further discussion? Again, remembering it's a 2/3 vote. All in favor? It's unanimous.
The ayes have it.
Intra-district school choice.
Intra-district school choice. So I distributed to you a letter that explains where we have some opportunities across the district. You can see that I was very specific about where the opportunities are and which schools could access them. So with your approval, then I would send out information to each, to the parents of each of these grade levels and invite them to apply. If we had more applications than seats, then I'd do a random lottery. That has not been the case so far. So last year when we did this, I think we had maybe 5 or 6 people who actually took advantage of this. So it's an attempt to manage our class sizes across the whole district. We have a couple of bubbles of classes where we're at 23 or 24 students, and this would give us some degree of management if people took the opportunity.
Motion?
Can I have a motion first?
Need a motion first.
So I have a motion to approve the intra-district school choice as written.
Second.
Any discussion? Start with Brian.
What's this going, we've got grade 1, 2, and 3. What's this going to do to our capacity, our grade size, class sizes when these kids move up? Because they will stay at these schools, correct?
That's right. Yeah, so once you move, you're a member of that community and you continue along with that group. Exactly. So if everybody took advantage of this, we'd have class sizes under 20 or below, which would be really great.
But even as they move along to the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, unless you have people moving into the
Yeah, unless you have people moving in.
You can't control that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But we have a fairly stable population, so it would be unlikely that we'd have that kind of an influx all at once, unless the housing market really goes crazy.
Nothing for sale around here.
No.
You have a question, Jack?
Yeah, my question was the same as Brian's, I believe, is that what is this going to do to those class sizes?
It would put them up around 20.
So we have some that are too high,
And we have
a little
some
bit higher, and some that are a little lower, so it's an attempt to
Yeah.
make
So I
them
have
all-
some classes, I have a couple classes at 16,
Yeah.
17. So if I took a couple of kids from another school, it could be at 20. It's still a reasonable class size, even if we get 2 kids that move in.
Okay.
And then how does this get communicated to parents that these are available?
I'll write a letter to each of these different groups,
Okay.
and it will have just exactly that information and the process that they could use. You know, call Mary Ann, register for a particular time frame, and I'll put all the details about what we'll do.
So I have a question about, so say if we look at grade 3 seats, so Bagnell has small class sizes, so you're looking for 4 from Page, 4 from Donahue. What if you get 5 from Page you want to move over and only 2 from Donahue? Like, I mean.
Then I use a lottery to fill those seats that I have available. So if I have more parents who apply than we have seats available, I use the lottery to fill the seats.
Right, but my question is grade 3, you're taking students to Bagnell from these other schools, but does it have to only be 4 from Page? It can't be more than,
Right,
even if you don't have 4 from Donahue moving over.
right,
Okay.
yeah.
But it could
So-
be a lottery.
So it would, yep, so it'd be a lottery. So, so I see what you're saying. So what I had to do here was kind of carefully predict where I could have some flexibility. I don't predict that we're going to get all of those people asking for seats. I'm kind of hedging my bet in that way.
Well, I'm thinking Donahue to Bagnall, I mean, that's a big different distance to go. But you might have more people from West Newbury who might
Could be.
want to go.
It could be. So I had to look at where are the needs in the district. So I had some need at Donahue and Page, and where do I have opportunity, and how could I massage that in a kind of an even way, a fair way. So again, I haven't had a lot of takers in the past, but it could be that I come back to you and say I still have some seats available, and I could move on in a different way.
For interdistrict with this, what does transportation look like?
We don't provide.
Okay.
There's no money transaction between towns, right?
No, it's all our money.
It's all our money, okay.
Yeah.
The other thing that worries me is the 4, 5, and 6. I think Brian alluded to it, where there's class size between 20 and 23. I hate to see the 26 or 27 get there, and then people move in this summer, and we go up to 28, and all of a sudden you come to us and say we need another teacher.
Well, you know, we could always have a point where I come to you and say we need another teacher, but for right now, all the class sizes are pretty manageable and even across all the schools for grades 4, 5, and 6, so there's no flexibility that I can offer right now. So we'll see what happens.
Do you want to, does this have to be done now? It has to be done now.
The policy states we have to vote it so that he can plan for next year.
Yeah, I've got to get these into play so that I can, I got to move forward with my classes, right? What's your hesitance about doing it now?
Well, my
Move-ins?
hesitance is about move-ins.
Well, this is, again, only going to put us at around 20 students if they were to even take advantage of it. So you don't, we still have some flexibility there.
Move-ins are always a potential problem, no matter whether we shuffle our own kids on interdistrict choice or not.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't do this, you could potentially have move-ins at the grade levels that are already over.
And that could be
even
at
worse.
29 kids right in the class, right?
This to me is almost like an administrative decision. We've just given him the courtesy. He brings it to us. So.
Well, if they move in, we could shuffle them to the other schools.
Yeah, yeah, you can move to Merrimack if you need to.
I think you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's not great.
Did the
got a
policy
green
say that? I
ticket.
didn't remember that part.
Yeah.
I had another question about the special ed siblings who are moved in district. Are there any applications this year that we need to approve?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm aware of one for kindergarten on that page.
Oh, well, that's easily handled now. Yeah.
Well, no, just that I think if the policy is still written that it's the recommendation of you, but we would still have to approve it.
Yeah, so it's a kindergarten student who
Who's
is...
from Groveland, but sibling attends Page because of...
Yeah, so based upon my kindergarten numbers, that would be an easy thing for me to do.
You know, but I think the way the policy is written is the school committee needs to approve that. I think.
So once we get that application, I can come to you, but that's...
I think that student's already registered at Page and everything it's...
They may have registered at Page, but may not have applied for the seat. So that may be the difficulty. I may not know about it. We'll make a note, check it out.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Great.
Unanimous. I think the executive session's already been taken care of. You got a question, Wayne?
Yeah.
Point of interest.
Okay.
Since the executive session's already been done, I just wanted to have 1 minute publicly say I'm a very critical person. I really demand a lot. And what Jack Willett has done for the school committee encompasses all of them. And that means he's honest, he has integrity, and he has a passion for what he does. He's been connected to the Pentucket regional school system for years, and I personally and the school committee wish to thank you for the great job you've done here, Jack. You're the best.
I agree too.
Nice, Jack.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous.
Very good, thank you.
You get a minute? Jeff, can you hang 1 minute?
Yeah.
Thank God, it was my last contract.